Let's go. All right. Hi, everyone. It's Janine with Jet Travel. We just wanted to say thank you for joining us. We are kicking off our Travel Talk series. We are on number 2 right now, we're very excited today because we are going to highlight the great destination of Alaska. We have Robin, our friend, with us who is in Alaska right now and Robin works with Dolphin Jet Boat Tours. So we have a bunch of questions we want to ask her about not only travel in Alaska, but she's been there for a very long time. So hopefully we're going to get those questions answered that we always get from clients about how in the heck do I see Alaska or what do I need to go see? So Robin, hello, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, awesome. We're really jazzed. So, warning everyone out there, this is our first time trying this. So we're going to try not to mess it up too bad. So just let it go with the flow. All right, Robin, so tell us a little bit more about you, how long you've been in Alaska, what you do. Tell us a little bit more about you. That'd be great.
Sure. I first came to Alaska in the spring of 2002. I wanted to change my life. And so I packed my car as soon as snow broke up in the Yukon Territory and drove to Fairbanks. I ended up in Denali National Park for the next couple of years, bouncing between Denali and Fairbanks. And I grew my life up a little bit after that, went to college, did the corporate thing, and then came back. I looked at some pictures online and said, Juneau looks pretty. So I got on a couple of job websites. I had a job lined up the next afternoon, and 2 weeks later I was on a plane.
Whoa, that's awesome.
It's, I haven't looked back. It's amazing here.
Very cool. So it is like 0 degrees, or it feels like 0, but it's like 7 here. It looks like it's, how is it in Juneau today?
Today we got a bunch of snow overnight and yesterday, but where I'm from in northern Idaho, the winters there are much harsher than here. We're a temperate rainforest, so it stays pretty damp all year long. Okay. And then I would say probably 30 degrees Fahrenheit is normal for, December weather. It was 34, I think, this morning driving to work.
Oh, way better than 7.
Yeah.
So cool. So before we jump into like the Alaska, your experiences there and all that great stuff, we want to touch really quick on kind of COVID and how it impacted travel and just life in general in Alaska. So if you wouldn't mind sharing a little bit about that with us, we'd really appreciate it.
We're so sad. We miss all of our people from all over the world. And when people started getting sick in, February, I think, we started getting more cancellations than normal. And I'm going, we're going to be fine. It's okay. And then a couple of weeks later, all I was doing was sitting here processing cancellations. And I wasn't sure, it wasn't a huge thing yet, but I was talking to a couple other friends and are you guys getting a lot of cancellations? The town is quiet. There's just no action, not only because of the pandemic and everything being shut down, but there are a ton of awesome little local businesses that are open specifically for our cruise ship guests. Mm-hmm. And, we're really missing out on that. And I'm missing out on just the fun and awesome juices of rubbing elbows with people from, Wisconsin.
Hey.
Yeah. So.
Got it. Yeah, you're right. Cancellations were not fun, but hopefully there's good things to come on the horizon, right?
Yeah, we're getting our first shipment of vaccines here tomorrow, I think. So 975 vaccines to start for our, first responders, the frontline, and our large nursing home here.
Got it.
So.
Got it. All right, cool. So let's dive into learn a little bit more about Alaska. So you told us you've been there since 2002 already. So first question that we always get from clients, I want to see Alaska and I do it all in one trip. Is that real?
Yeah. Big trip. You know, I mean, people come to Alaska with some really interesting expectations. And yeah, you can absolutely see Alaska. One of the things that I have always found very compelling is a lot of the tours, Holland America or whatever, you do a cruise and then a following overland portion. And I think that that's very efficient. It's a good, efficient way to see everything as long as you're not really, committed to sucking the juices out of the, out of whatever local flavor you find.
Okay.
Doing a cruise up through the Inside Passage and then following that with the overland portion is, for the most part, going to be a better use of your time than doing the overland and then cruising back down to Vancouver or Seattle.
Okay.
The way the ships do the schedules, the southbound cruises stay in the more interesting ports like Juneau a much shorter time.
Oh, okay.
And sometimes, one of them, Norwegian, does a southbound that arrives at 6:30 in the morning and the all aboard is noon.
Oh, so you only get like 6 hours.
Yeah. But you have 14 hours in, Skagway where there's not that much to do. So
yeah, cool town, but you're right. It's smaller. So
yeah, it's smaller and Juneau has absolutely everything that you could possibly want to do. You're going to be able to do here. And you want to look at that cruise ship schedule and, make sure that you're going to have a lot of time in the ports that you're most interested in.
Yeah, really great point on that one. Yeah, look at like, what are your priorities? What do you for sure want to take advantage of? Like, do you want to go head a glacier up? So make sure that you find those ports where you can have the time to really enjoy it.
Right.
Got it. Makes sense. All right. You just said the best way that you think to see Alaska, which is the cruise. It's like a cruise tour. So you do a little bit of cruising and then you still get to see the interior.
Mm-hmm.
All right, very cool. So what is one experience or thing that people often overlook with Alaska when they're traveling there?
I find that they overlook the local flavor a lot. They are focused on, certainly shopping is important. But I find that people are so focused on the expectations that they may have had. Mm-hmm. Oh, we're going to see the Eskimos and the polar bears and the igloos. We don't have those things here. And so that they forget about the local flavor. Try our coffee. Of course, Alaskan beer is amazing. And we've got some wonderful little micro distilleries that are popping up here and there. The local artists, the people that have been trained for many, many generations honing their craft.
So no, that's cool, because that goes into the next question that I was going to ask you actually. What is the perfect gift to bring home with you?
All right.
Is there a perfect gift? Or do you need to just have a separate suitcase?
No, I have this little thing where I say it's a little box of perfect gifts. The perfect gift to bring home for somebody is the ulu knife.
Okay. What is an ulu knife?
I don't sell them or anything, but the ulu knife is this wonderful tool. It's a knife. It's sharp. It's a gorgeous piece of art. And it's incredibly handy. It's for, cutting raw meat, cutting vegetables. Okay. You have to look up a picture of it. I, bring back some for, my elderly relatives. My mom's got arthritis in her hands, and she can use the ulu knife in a way that she can't use a regular knife.
Oh, very cool.
And it's a gorgeous piece of art too.
Yeah. So I love that it's a gift that's practical, that you will use. It's not like something that just sits on that shelf that you're like, it's collecting dust, but it's coolest to look at. You know what I mean? It's something that you'll probably use, and every time you use it, you're like, oh my gosh, remember that time in Alaska.
Exactly.
Very cool. What are 3 must-dos for a traveler in Alaska?
All right, you've got to go whale watching, of course. That's why you want to be able to spend a lot of time in Juneau, because whale watching in and of itself is, I mean, that's a time commitment. It's at least 3 hours time commitment that you're going to be doing that. But being on a small boat in these amazing, this water is protected from the open ocean, and the humpback whales are like the cows of the sea. They're just out there, they're doing their thing. They come here to eat all summer long, and they can be so active, and they bring the baby up. They give birth in Hawaii and then bring the baby up here, and they teach the baby how to swim and get its fluke up. And yeah, the fluke is the tail, and it's really heavy. So yeah, you definitely need to do that.
Okay.
You should definitely, okay. I love corniness. I absolutely love things that are corny. And up in Denali, there's a thing called Cabin Night Dinner Theater.
Oh. Okay.
And it is just, when I lived up there, I went once a week. It's a wonderful meal served family style in this cozy cabin. Hopefully it's going to be coming back next year with the family style and everything. Right. But yeah, traditional, I know, traditional salmon, vegetables, berry cobbler, local blueberries.
Oh.
And they have these amazing performers that come up in the summers from Las Vegas, and they do winters in Las Vegas. So they're really, really good. And they do musical Robert Service poems. Oh. If you've ever heard of Robert Service, he came up here with the gold rush and just started writing. Mm-hmm. And it is just so warm and cozy and incredibly corny.
So cool. So that's two. Can you think of one more thing that people should for sure do?
They should for sure have some real Alaskan king crab.
Oh.
They should for sure do that. You might have guessed my life revolves around food and drink.
Guilty.
Yeah.
Guilty. Yeah, no, absolutely. Because now I have to go back because I have not actually eaten crab. I fell in love with halibut though, since we're talking about food right now. We ate halibut. I want to say it was in Juneau, but I could be wrong. I'll have to look at my journal. And I refuse to eat it here just because I know it's not going to be the same because it was so ridiculously good. Yeah. So, okay, sorry.
Absolutely.
I got sidetracked like normal. Best time to visit Alaska.
Are you looking to just see things? Then absolutely the summertime. Okay. May is going to be rainy in the southeast, but nice up north. If you're looking to do both the cruise through the rainforest and the overland portion, in the interior, so it is not cold pretty much anywhere. In Juneau, I can tell people that you should expect 65 degrees and raining. Up in the interior, you should expect 90 degrees and just dry.
Ooh.
So, it all depends on, that kind of goes into my constant harping on expectations.
Right.
So yeah, but I mean, summers here are beautiful. The long days are so interesting. You do get the occasional person who says, oh, even though it's in June or July, where are the Northern Lights? When do we get to see the Northern Lights? Yeah, for Northern Lights, you come here in December and January.
There you go.
Yeah.
Got it. So since it's snow season down here, and obviously you guys have the shorter days. Well, if someone wanted to see Denali, is there a better time? Are parts of Denali closed during the winter months just because of the snow? So if Denali is not high on a list, they need to think more summer and end caps of fall and winter, fall and spring.
Yeah, sorry, exactly. For the Denali area, they should think strictly summer. Okay. Simply because you can still go there, but I can promise you that nothing is going to be open. Not one thing is going to be open. There'll be, the occasional gas station here and there, but there's no place to stay. There's no restaurants.
Yeah.
So that's what,
change up the experience a little that way.
up the experience a little that way. If you're planning on doing a road trip or something, then yeah, that's awesome. You can make the drive from Anchorage to Fairbanks in one day.
Okay.
And then, head on down to Denali from Fairbanks. That's about, between a 2 and a 3 hour drive.
Okay, got it. What is one of the biggest mistakes people can make when traveling to Alaska?
The expectations. I have had people tell me we only saw 14 whales, and they're mad about that. Thinking that they're going to be able to just really put on the feed bag with, oh, it's Alaska, all of the seafood is so cheap. Well, yeah, it's cheap for us because we're out there getting it, but we can get really high prices in the lower 48. So it's not cheap for people to buy it here.
Right.
Even expectations with the weather. I will often have people that go, this is how they dress in Alaska, and they wear the big fur coat and the big fur boots. Well, we're a rainforest. We get 300 inches of rain a year here. You're going to get soaked. So just managing those expectations is, you're not going to find Starbucks here. We have our own stuff.
That sounds lovely though, because that should be a really cool part of the experience, because you don't want to go there and like eat something or drink someplace or go somewhere that you can do back at home or anywhere else. I want something that's really Alaskan. You know what I mean?
Yep, absolutely.
Which goes to the best beer from Alaska or the best place to go grab a beer?
Well, the best beer is going to be whatever beer is in front of me right now. The Alaskan Brewing Company, of course, is world famous.
We have it here. I know you can get it here, so I would say world famous.
It there. Yeah. I actually had an Alaskan Amber in Milwaukee last year. It was weird. But Alaskan Brewing Company is so great. And when you're here, you can go to the tasting room. You do have to take a cab or grab they have ways to get out there, but they're so involved with the community, and the community gets involved with the beers, and you can taste things like their pilot series and the crew brews and, the small batch stuff that they're testing out. That they make with our, the same berries that go into the local ice cream. And, somebody started doing, candied bacon s'mores. And so they put some of the candied bacon into the beer.
Why not?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, awesome. So do you have, that just makes me I'm starting to salivate a little bit over here.
I know.
Good. So we'll persevere on, we'll get through this. Favorite place to hike, if someone was a hiker and they're like, hey, I want to really hike and not get lost, but truly have some cool experiences, where would you suggest they go?
Okay, so in order to get the true just awesome hiking experience without just going, okay, I'm on a hike, I could be anywhere right now slogging through the woods. If you're in Juneau, take the tram up to the top. And the Mount Roberts Tramway. Sorry, you should do the Mount Roberts Tramway if it's a nice day. Take the tram up to the top and hike up there. It's within about 10 minutes, you're up out of the tree line. You're doing alpine hiking. There is an enormous ridge. You get the view of the entire Gastineau Channel, the city of Juneau, all the way out to the view is huge.
Oh, cool.
And it's not strenuous. It's an easy hike, and just absolutely beautiful.
Oh, awesome. So I'm just picturing it in my brain. I'm like, oh, I just want to go back. Favorite place to go fishing?
Ketchikan is actually the salmon capital of the world.
Okay.
You should definitely go fishing in Ketchikan for salmon. For Juneau, we have amazing halibut here, of course. The salmon is a little bit more iffy. It's a little bit more finicky.
Okay.
And this year we had a bit of a tragedy here. There was we got something like 11 inches of rain in 3 days, and it caused some landslides.
Oh no.
You'll read about the landslide up in Haines,
Okay.
but one of the landslides took out the source of fresh water for the salmon hatchery.
Oh.
And they had to, unfortunately, say goodbye to a lot of baby salmon.
Oh no.
So that was incredibly sad. So I would say probably this year in salmon in Juneau, not the best idea. Halibut in Juneau, absolutely. And that is going to be a long excursion, getting out to where the water is deep enough that you're going to be able to. Halibut live between 150 and 300 feet.
Okay.
And they're on the bottom. So you got to get out to where the water is deep enough that you're going to find the halibuts out there.
Oh, still sounds great. So, so let's talk about then wildlife, because everyone wants to see the wildlife, anything and everything,
Sure.
The bears, the eagles, anything else on four legs besides the fish, which are really cool to see too. So where would you suggest to see the most wildlife in so that you're not traveling for like days?
And here in the Southeast, you're going to have bears when the salmon are running. Okay. So late June to August is going to be your peak bear activity when you want to see them. And that's also actually really cool because when you go out to Mendenhall Glacier, which you know about clearly, there are platforms out there over the salmon spawning areas. So you can see the salmon like doing the little thing. And that's also going to be your best chance in this area of seeing bears is in the salmon spawning grounds. Up in Denali, there is it's a long day, but the Tundra Wildlife Tour, that's an 8 hours, you're on the bus, but it is very wildlife focused. That's where you're going to get your moose and probably your Dall sheep and a few other things. And that's also going to be the best chance of seeing Denali Mountain. It goes a long ways out there. It goes out to the Toklot River in most cases. And that's going to be your best chance of actually getting a view of the mountain.
Oh, very cool. So normally when you say 12-hour tour right away, some people are like, oh my God, do I want to do it? But that's one of those tours that are actually worth that time to have someone else drive it for you.
Yeah. And there's a box lunch included and, bathroom breaks and stuff and multiple places to get out and walk around and take pictures. They stop at Polychrome Pass, which is just an outstanding, mind-blowing view. If it's an okay clear day, absolutely mind-blowing view of Denali.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. All right. We're going to get to some more fun things, and then we're going to get to the lightning round, which I'm sure you're probably scared to death about. So don't be. It's not that bad. I did it on Andy earlier, so you'll be okay. If you had to tell someone, if they're asking you, what is the optimal amount of days to actually spend in Alaska, if I want to see as much as I can, what would you suggest?
A month. If you have a month. If you're traveling on your own by car, you're probably taking the ferry. Okay. So you're going to want to spend at least a few days in each location to make it worth it, because the ferry is expensive and long, but super fun. Traveling by ferry, you take your tent, you camp out on the deck, and you talk to all of the people. It's a really super fun way to travel.
Oh, very cool.
Spend a couple of days in Anchorage. It is just a city, but it's a really cool city. Spend a couple of days in Fairbanks, go up to, the Arctic Circle, go up to Camp Coldfoot, see the area where they have the ice road truckers.
Right? All that good stuff. It feels like there's so much to do, like saying like you can go there once and you're done. It just feels like you're doing a disservice actually to what you could experience.
You really, yeah. You know, a lot of people like the cruise and they take the cruise every year because they want to just soak in the scenery. Some people don't even get off the ship. They love the scenery. Some people take one cruise, they pick their favorite spot, and then they just go back to Juneau year after year. It's always Juneau.
Are you saying that you're a little bit maybe in favor of Juneau more versus other
Nah.
destinations? No, I did love our stop because you're right though, because I've only seen it via cruise and I feel like, okay, there's way more. I could probably, like you said, I could cruise it every year and I would not get tired of it whatsoever. It's just such a cool destination. All right. Sorry, I'm looking over my list. Oh, Judy's question. Here we go. What's one obscure Alaska thing that the must do that most travelers miss?
Well, we're going to have words with Judy after this.
Yeah, don't worry. You can. I can't wait.
What do most travelers miss?
Right?
Yeah, wow. All right. Well, it's when you think about it, it's not really that obscure, but most travelers are focused on getting back to the cruise ship for dinner, and they miss out on the opportunity to sit in a local bar and make a friend and then go out on a beach bonfire with that friend.
Yeah. No, I like it.
You know, some of the best experiences I've had traveling was just chatting people up at a little hole in the wall bar. And then, you know, one time these people, I was in New Orleans and they invited me back to their pecan plantation to spend a couple of days. And, you know, and the people here, the locals, want to show you.
So try to make new friends. Definitely the word of the wise. They know the secrets and what you probably won't see on a tourist map somewhere.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay, cool. Let me think. All right, cool. So Robin, is there anything else you feel like you would love to give us wisdom for when we're talking about Alaska or thinking about doing it? What last words of wisdom do you have to share with us?
Wisdom, bring layers. Make sure at least the top layer is waterproof. Don't worry about bringing the big heavy coat if you're coming anywhere near the summer. Stay off of social media while you're here. You know, upload the pictures later.
And be in the moment.
And unless you're out on a whale watching tour with Dolphin Jet Boat Tours and you want to tag us, then that's fine. I totally approve.
There you go. So in like pre-COVID, let's just talk about that. I mean, how many tours a day were you guys doing? I mean, how often did you actually see whales when you went out?
I've been working for Dolphin. This is my 9th year, technically, with COVID. And you know, our schedule depends on the cruise ships, of course. You know, if your ship is in here on a Friday or a Saturday, you're just not going to have many options for tours because there just aren't many ships, and those ships don't have many people on them.
Okay.
But in my workingest tour day, which is usually always a Tuesday, we're going to take out between 500 and 600 passengers whale watching.
Okay. Just some of your closest friends.
Yeah, just, you know, and they're all my friends. But in the 9 years, I've had to refund. We always do a money back guarantee. If we don't find whales for you, we're going to give you your money back. And I've had to refund twice, two trips in 9 years.
Wow.
Yeah, once there was a squall that kicked up halfway out there, and we had to turn around and come back. And then another time, we got to the whales, but they were just in an area that the waves were just going crazy and the whales just were not coming up.
Gotcha.
So
safety first.
Safety first, but you know, people still got a boat ride and some hot cocoa.
There you go. Got it. Well, awesome. So, Robin, how we're going to end this lovely little time that we've spent together. And thank you for taking the time and sharing your love of Alaska and all of your experience. We really appreciate it. Now we have the lightning round. For those of you who didn't, weren't a part of our first travel talk with Cabo, what I do is that I read Robin a series of questions. She just has to rapid fire answer them right back. Robin has not seen these questions, so you'll be fine. Don't worry. You're going to be fine. All right, here we go. Aisle or window seat on a plane?
Window.
What is one thing you always pack in your carry-on?
Multiple pairs of headphones.
Good one.
I'm going to lose headphones a couple of times on each trip.
Hiking or fishing?
Fishing.
Ooh. If you can have lunch with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be?
Ben Bernanke,
Nice.
the former head of the Federal Reserve.
Yeah. He probably has a lot of stories he could tell you. Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Favorite food? What is your favorite food?
Oh God, it's Sophie's Choice.
You can say multiple. I'm not going to say it's that you can only tell me one.
You basically just asked me for my favorite breath of air. Nachos.
Great one. If you were an animal, what Alaskan animal would you choose to be?
There's a little caterpillar called the woolly bear. It's about this big and it's super fuzzy. It looks like it's wearing this giant fur coat. And I always thought they were so adorable. And nobody will step on them. It's like, oh, a woolly bear. That everybody gets so excited because that's the first sign of winter. And they've got an orange stripe down their middle. And this is just the most random thing I've ever heard in my life. I can't believe I'm saying this, but the size of that orange stripe determines how cold of a winter it's going to be.
Oh, very interesting.
Yeah.
Love
and so
it.
everybody gets really excited to see the woolly bear.
I can see why.
You're going to edit this part out, right?
Nope, absolutely not.
Oh my God.
You're good. I love that. That was great. Okay, if you could be anywhere in the world right now and there is no COVID, where would you be?
Oh, Mexico City.
Oh, very cool.
100%. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I heard
it's my favorite place in the world.
I've read about their food scene.
Oh, the food scene is amazing. The arts, the weird little bars, everything is awesome.
Cool. Have you done anything that scared you, but you did it anyway?
Yeah. Is that the question, or you want me to?
If you are okay with sharing about it, you can share, or you can just say yes.
Yeah. I'm not a water person. I do not like the water. I like to breathe. I'm very much a breather. And last 2 years ago, I took a trip. I was traveling around Mexico. I went out to completely blanking on the name, that island off of Cancun.
Hobash or Isla Mujeres or Cozumel?
Cozumel. Thank you. Cozumel. So there's a wonderful little snorkeling area there, and I went snorkeling. I was with my best friend, and she's like, I can't believe you're doing this. And I'm like, oh, no, this is amazing. I'm terrified, but I'm doing it.
Awesome. When you were a child, what did you want to be when you grew up?
A pianist.
Do you still play?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, not well. I broke my hand when I was 19 and couldn't really play so much anymore, but yeah. What
do you currently miss most about travel?
Oh, everything.
That's
everything. I miss being someplace I've never been before, and it being, Mexico City at 2:00 in the morning. And I know I need to get back to the hostel and go to sleep, but I let's just look at this one other street. And then you turn the corner and there's this amazing other street there.
Yeah, Yeah, it's just it's a domino effect. I get it.
Yeah.
Totally
Oh, it's
do.
awful.
What destination is on your bucket list?
Oh, Morocco.
Ooh, me too.
Yeah.
Where do you want to travel to next?
Mexico City. I feel like I need to recover from all of the rest we've had this summer. Yeah, I'll definitely head back to Mexico and then probably travel down in the south a little bit more.
Very cool. Well, that is the lightning round. You survived. Thank you so much and congratulations. You did great. You did awesome.
Thanks. Oh, good. Okay,
Yeah.
yay.
So,
I feel like I have to unscrew my smile now.
All right, I feel the same way. Oh, you're great. No, Robin, thank you again for joining us from Juneau, Alaska. We really appreciate you sharing your love for Alaska. Thank you to all of our viewers who tuned in this evening. If you have any additional questions for us or for Robin, hit us up on Facebook, send us an email, give us a phone call. You might have thought of something we didn't exactly hit on, but we are here to be that resource for you. So I also want to say we will not be doing a travel talk until after the holiday season. So have a very Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa, Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and everything. We will see you again in January when we pick this up again. So watch our Facebook site. We will be giving you our upcoming schedule of events. And Robin, you have a very Merry Christmas in Alaska.
Thank you. You as well.
Take care.
Bye-bye.